Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast, Dragon Ball edition. Today we are providing you with your L7C monthly Dragon Ball episode. We got the Dragon Ball expert with us, Mr. Mitch Oso. How are you doing today, sir?
As always, doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Love talking some Dragon Ball with you, especially on the podcast for our loyal listeners who tune into our stuff when things may not be even going on. So let's just talk about some things that have happened since we've last been on and then go from there.
Sounds like a plan.
So, first thing that's recent, I really don't know, Mitch, when this became like a big deal or how this even came to be, but like Goku Day happened a couple of weeks ago. Obviously it's the same day as when King Piccolo said that he was taking over the world and King Piccolo Day, but this day has become more and more a thing with the years going by, and I really don't remember when this became a thing.
So, like, if you hopped on, at like Dragon Ball's like official site, they do a whole bunch of stuff, in terms of just having a little bit of fun with this. I don't know. I feel like the community hasn't like gone crazy with it each year, and maybe it's just because this year with Toriyama's passing,
Mhm.
just like it just seemed like anyone and everyone just wants to celebrate Goku Day and celebrate the franchise. And you know what? I'm all about it. Can't, anything Dragon Ball, sign me up. Bring it on.
Oh, that's true. It was just because I saw some other, like, obviously some other bigger, like a Crunchyroll or YouTube or stuff like that saying, "Oh, it's Goku Day. Here's your top 10 like Goku moments." And I'm like, "What is?" I was like, "I don't think this is this big a deal." Or seeing some like YouTubers like saying, "Happy Goku Day," like this and that, and then people always expecting like, "Oh, it's Goku Day. There's gonna be an announcement." I was like, "Guys, it's not an
You
official
know,
thing." But then, like you said, the website now is just like, "F it, we're gonna ride with it too."
here's something you might find interesting because I'm getting this off the Dragon Ball official site. All right.
Hmm.
And it says this they released this obviously on May 9th. And the title is It's Goku Day. We're bringing you all the 2024 Goku Day info. And here's what the first paragraph talks about. Goku Day is on 5/9. But why that date? They ask. You might be wondering. In Japanese, 5 can be read as go, and 9 can be read as ku. Put them together, 5 and
Ah,
9, you get Goku. And then you have 5/9, the day of Goku. Plus, the previous day, 5/8, is Gohan Day, and the next, 5/10, is Goten Day.
the guy you don't care about.
Does Go? Yep, don't give a hot shit about that. Anyways, so the Goku family celebration goes on for 3 days. Honestly, I had no clue about that. I have never heard of Gohan or Goten Day. I'm with you. Um, just 5/9 being Goku Day, and when you know King Piccolo tries to you know, declare his decree over the earth. So, I mean, but that was interesting. I did not know that.
No, I didn't either. That's actually really that would make see that makes more sense.
Yeah, it does. Now, I wonder if then that's just, is that pure coincidence that Piccolo or King Piccolo said that, you know, that day would be the day in which he rules the world, or, you know, I wonder if one influenced the other in terms of why it's called Goku Day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, was that something that was way above our heads until now? Like when we
Maybe.
were little kids, we obviously wouldn't think about shit. I didn't think about that now until you said it.
Hmm.
No, that
Yeah,
that
and,
is
and they're talking about some other like stuff on the official site. They're doing a poll right now of Goku's best bout. So who's he got his best fight with, going all the way back to his fights with Krillin, during the World Martial Arts arc, and on Namek against Recoome, Super and Jiren. So I mean, it's spanning the entire franchise.
those ones get me. I always pause when I hear those ones because like what are we talking about best fight? Are we talking like really like the best like hand to hand action fight? Or are we like when people ask that, are we talking like
Yeah.
the most important, most impactful fight?
Yeah. You can either do it, as you said, most like what were the stakes of that fight?
Hmm.
Like how important to the story was that fight, or was there a fight that was just illustrated significantly, better? Maybe it didn't have the same stakes as like maybe a different fight, but it looked phenomenal, or just which fight had some of the best memories to it. So, but yeah, I'm not. It doesn't give any information as to what exactly they're meaning by that. Um,
Because impactful's got to be Frieza.
but it's funny. It says here, we're excited to announce Goku's best bout pool, a voting project. Naturally, Goku's battles with Vegeta, Frieza, and the like are included, but we've even added Goku's face-offs against giant fish and Bulma's car. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny that that Bulma hitting him in the first episode would be would be considered a bout. That's pretty good.
That
So,
is wow. That is very, very interesting on that. But
it,
speaking a birthday that did happen, Toyotaro.
yep, Toyotaro, yep, the man who is going to be single-handedly holding up this entire franchise until he passes the torch to someone else. And well, happy birthday, Toyotaro, man. Happy for you. So,
So, so we talked about Goten, obviously, because you are not a fan of Goten. But the next Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero, aka Budokai Tenkaichi 4 trailer is called New Generations of Saiyans, and it's going to feature Goten, Trunks, Kale, Cailfa, Kefla, and Gotenks. And usually when they have these scans or trailers to follow. But
hmm.
Mitch, very interesting that new generations of Saiyans, but the Saiyan who introduced us to Universe 6 wasn't in the promotional art, and that's Cabba.
Yeah, maybe I can only imagine that they're just saving him just for a big reveal, just to get the hype, just going, hopefully hoping that we have all as a community just forgot about him because I mean they have been so underutilized,
Mhm.
you know, and and as we have made fun of them in the past or how they have turned Super Saiyan, for example. Um, yeah, it's just I think that maybe during this reveal we see him. I mean, they got a
That's
lot of characters they need to, show off for that
that
entire
is true.
roster. So I mean,
That
they're
is
there.
true. And I guess with the Goten Trunks, Kale, Kefla, since those two are both fusion pairs, it makes sense because Cabba had to infuse with anyone. So I'm gonna be more excited if they do when they do the trailer, if they have the Goten Funks fighting Kale and Caulifla fighting them and hearing some dialogue. Because those are
Yeah.
four Saiyans that never met and they don't even know that the other exists.
Hmm.
Because obviously, well, shit, we don't know now. I mean, who knows what's going on? But obviously, last seen Kefla, anime wise, was pushed a tired Goku to UI Omen, and then manga wise, lost to Gohan. Well, tied with Gohan, both knocked each other out. We never got to see what a full body teenage Gotenks looks like, but I would just be interested if like Kale and Caulifla saw the fusion dance and saw they can fuse that way and then they don't have to rely on earrings if they would
Yeah.
adopt that. Like what would be a Kale Caulifla fusion dance? Like maybe that interaction's gonna happen.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I'm trying to think of what the name of the female Saiyans fusion dance would be. Because I would almost just say it would just be Kale, but with a C. I
Mm.
mean, so it's just, or Chael, uh, Kale. It had to be Kale. It's almost, that's kind of interesting. But yeah, was there any dialogue between them in Xenoverse? I
Well,
don't
it's bad because since you
recall.
said like you don't like Goten, I was like, dude, I don't think I've ever even
Yeah, you don't
touched
select
Goten
them.
in the video
Yeah,
games.
you don't select them unless you're drunk. desperate, bored. I mean, the one thing that, with Xenoverse, you always pick, for the most part, you always pick your created character, right?
Hmm.
You put a lot of effort into, you know, leveling them up, creating their stat line, and, they're tailor-made to your play style. And sometimes even trying to pick someone like Goku, for example, it kind of just feels a little bit awkward whenever you play with them
Hmm.
sometimes. So it's like if that's the case with the most popular player in the game, aside from your character, your created character, I'm sure as fuck not picking Goten. Absolutely not. That'd be
Even
like that'd be like I might as well I would probably pick a Cyberman beforehand. Like it's just
oh my
like
gosh.
why would I pick Goten?
No, that's a very true thing because even with
Shit, I
Xenoverse,
would pick Kid Goku before them.
yeah,
Like, and they're in the same player model.
yeah, right. So even with like Xenoverse, and you obviously want to be your creative character because, like you said, you put all that effort in, and then if you're doing the parallel quest by yourself and you're not online, you pick your two side characters. You're more than likely going to pick your two favorite side characters, unless you're a sicko like me sometimes. And I was like, you know what? I already know who I'm gonna fight. Let me see if there's gonna be some dialogue between them. But like, you're not doing that for freaking Goten, like you said, because maybe there is some dialogue between a Gotenks and a Kefla that's hidden in Xenoverse. Like again, man, I lost my mind with way back in the day. There's dialogue between Whis, Beerus, and the Super Saiyan 4s.
Yeah, that shit was groundbreaking. That was so cool.
Because like Whis is
We
talking about
saying
like
that,
that's what
super,
it looks, that's what a god of destruction looks like.
you know,
And
yeah,
we're like,
we
oh
giving that
shit.
compliment. That was awesome.
Like that was crazy stuff. But it'll be interesting seeing that because we assume Kale, Cailfa, and Cabba are older than we assume they're like young adults, right? Like the 18, 19 range.
Yeah.
Because yeah, because Goten and Trunks were teenagers and then they don't get their growth spurts forever. But I just think that's interesting with we'll see what they do with that because they've been consistent. They've been pumping out a trailer every month,
Hmm.
which is sad. And that's any Dragon Ball thing. We're like, oh, consistency. This is crazy. But according to data mines and any gamer, we all love people who data mine. Some person found out at SRGIO M3 said that he data mined the stuff and Xenoverse, I mean Budokai Tenkaichi 4 is supposed to come out October 1st, 2024.
It
Mitch,
wouldn't surprise
this is
it's October, man. The greatest month of video gaming ever.
it is well it's the perfect like in all honesty it's the perfect month to release a game and I'm coming from it from like a normal people
Hmm.
had some money but not like we made ends meet type thing and normal parents because if you release a game in October and it's really like coveted it gives
Right.
parents 2 months to get that game for Christmas.
Yep.
So like that, I mean, that's how I always, when I was younger, the game comes out in October, really wanted it. You put it on the Christmas list.
Yep. It's still the same, man. It's still how it is in today's age, and that that doesn't change too often. I honestly find it more surprising whenever there's a big name release and it comes out in like March, April, or like,
Hmm.
May, for example. Like when Animal Crossing and Doom came out,
Hmm.
like at the beginning of the pandemic. Those games came out in, oh, March. Let's see. They might have come out in like May or something like that. Um, I can't remember exact date, but like, yep, you got to gear up for the holiday season, man.
Do
Black
we
Friday
believe,
shopping.
do we
Got to get
believe
that
this guy
game.
though? Like, do we really think this game's gonna come out? And
Now, the one thing that I always pondered though was When is October 1st? October 1st, okay, here's why I think potentially I could be right. October 1st is a Tuesday.
Ooh, that is for the young people.
Yeah.
Tuesdays is when video games and new albums always came out back in me
Yep.
and Mitch's day.
Yep. Tuesdays, and such a weird day. It's like, just you would think that Fridays are more would be more common, but part of me thinks that the reason why Fridays were never when video games got released because that's when movies would be released in theaters.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's like you're not going to um it's one or the other on Fridays, so it's like they just push them on Tuesdays and then just not compete. Now, granted, I still don't understand why that is because I would feel like back in the day you would want to release on a game and because when movies are there, people go to the mall.
Yep.
And back in the day, where was GameStop? GameStop was in the mall.
Yep.
Or, it was like you remember EB Games or Game Crazy for yourself, to all the game crazy fanatics out there. Like the Martin, obviously.
Oh
Everyone listen
yeah. I
love
was
Game
just
Crazy.
actually thinking about Game Crazy. I kid you not, 2 days ago. How
Yep.
I used to walk across the highway to get to Game Crazy.
And yeah, you and then also the WWE contributor for the L7C, Jacob. He was obsessed with Game
Bro,
Crazy.
they had such great deals. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, you wonder how they didn't go out of business like sooner. And
Well, they
oh my
need the
gosh,
next documentary because Movie Pass is getting a movie. Game Pass should get a movie.
yep,
I mean,
uh,
Game Crazy should get a
yeah, Game
movie.
Crazy should. And yeah, maybe that honestly, you we could probably have a discussion over Game Crazy on a separate
Oh,
podcast.
absolutely.
That could, yeah. So maybe I'll reach out to Jacob, see if we have enough content for that thing. Anyways, but yeah, so October 1st is on a Tuesday, so that lines up pretty good with the leaks about the release date. So uh, I'd actually be more shocked if it wasn't
Mm.
that date now. So
I think the thing that helps his case is all the things you said, because I didn't even look that that was a Tuesday. Like, that's a really good look on you. And like you said with October, a lot of Dragon Ball games have come out in October.
mm-hmm. Yep. They just let's see here. If I type,
We
I think
obviously know Xenoverse 2 did because that came out on your birthday back in the day.
I think there is Dragon Ball video games. I think Wikipedia has a list of the all the video games,
Hmm.
and a list will actually give the release. So all right, so geez, do we care about the games back in the 1980s?
No.
No. All right, I'm
No.
just going to the 2000s, respectful. So, um, let's see. So here's one that's wrong. Anyways, Legacy of Goku. That came out in
Hey.
May. That came out in May.
One of
So
the well, that's one of the hardest games on Game Boy ever.
now in the EU, it came out in October, on October 4th. Let's see, Budokai came out in the EU November 2nd.
Hmm.
Um, in America, December 3rd. And crazy enough, in Japan, it came out the following February. That's weird. Um, Budokai 2, November release, early December release. God, I better start finding stuff that supports it because I'm seeing a lot. Okay, like Budokai 3 was a November release, November 16th. So maybe this guy is, you know, based off of what the past has said, maybe he's believing it to be too early. However, I finally have one. Budokai Tenkaichi came out October 6th in Japan, 18th in the
Okay.
US. And October 21st. I don't even know what these other games were on PlayStation Portable. Yeah. Um, Budokai Tenkaichi 2 was October 5th in Japan, November for EU and America. Um, Tenkaichi 3, October 4th in Japan, November for everywhere else. Bro, Burst Limit came out in June. What the hell?
Burst, man. Dude, I take a burst limit remastered on the new gens.
Mm-hmm.
Still
Raging
raising. That game
Blast.
came out 2013.
Hold on one second. Let me go back. Burst Limit?
Hmm.
Oh, it came out earlier than that, 2008.
That game came out in 2008, and you still couldn't do the Boo Saga.
No, no,
That
no.
makes, I don't know if they really thought they were getting season like a second game or because that makes no
Just,
sense.
just think about that. We had what if storylines in Budokai 3 with Super Saiyan 4 and all the other shit. And
Hmm.
but nope, couldn't right after we were done with Cell, we were done. Raging Blast was November. Um Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi Tag Team. Oh, that was PlayStation Portable. That was October. A lot of Novembers and Octobers here. Looking back at all of these, yeah, most of these games came out in November actually. Um, Now granted, Xenoverse 2, I forgot all about this. That came out on my birthday.
Yep.
Yep, back in 2016. When did Fighter Z? Um, that was actually January. So
What about Dragon Ball Kakarot? Because I think that's the newest game.
yeah, I gotta go to the 2020s. January was the release date. Breakers came out in October.
Okay, I guess closet that could be this
So
game.
so October 1st might be a little, if that is the date, it is kind of a little sooner than the other traditional ones, but there were still a couple in there that were released in Japan, like October 5th. So it could come out on the first for Japan, and then for us, it comes out like 3 weeks later or a month later, but
Hmm.
it definitely should be out, before Black Friday. So
True, but man, bro, anytime with Dragon Ball, I've just come to a point. It's like, dude, if you don't show me an actual release date, like a real date, I don't believe it.
EA ruined you, man.
I,
EA ruined that shit.
well,
And
I was gonna go old school, and I guess EA is old school. I was gonna go Dragon Ball Super returning 2019 ruined me.
oh man,
I
we're
think
past,
that's what ruined me.
we're past that though. Finally, just with this damn game. So
No, that was the goal. That might have been the lowest of lows of Dragon Ball.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, but no, that's interesting because they're going to be at Game Fest in June, and as we were talking about gaming, Mitch, I don't understand how all these different like companies are going to be at Game Fest, but we don't have E3 anymore. It makes no sense.
I don't know why they killed E3 like that, man.
But then you're still going to other fucking things, and like, oh, I saw all these things like Bandai, Xbox, all these people. Was like, so you're basically having E3 in June, but not calling it E3. It's called Game Fest.
Either the leadership of E3 was trash, or E3 cost too much money.
Hmm.
Like maybe I don't know.
Just
Or
interesting.
this is just like cable, man. It's just
Oh,
these
geez,
streaming packages.
that's a podcast in itself, dude.
Yep, just all these companies, they make their own streaming apps and then they realize they can't maximize on profits because, everyone picks and chooses who they want and they can cancel it at any time. And they go ahead and kill cable and then they merge together into
Make
new
cable.
cable.
It's terrible, but we'll see if Sparking Zero does anything really, really big there. Maybe they'll do the release date type trailer. But I mean, Goku, Sean, he said he's put anywhere between 60 to 80 hours as a voice actor in that game.
I want to know where he gets that number from because I'm like,
Maybe his pay
60 to
stub.
8. Well, 60 to 80 hours. Let's say he works like an 8 hour a day
Hmm.
shift. It's only 2 weeks of work.
That's a good. That's
But
a
but
good
I mean,
point.
but is he screaming into the mic for 80 hours? You know what I mean?
That's a good. That's a good point. Another point I wanted to ask you too, because I personally, especially for I'm gonna use Xenoverse 2, for example, there is no way they call all these actors, voice actors back every time they have new DLC. I feel like they record everything from the jump.
I
And then
would
they're
think I
like,
would
all
agree
right,
with
we're
you
gonna
on
put
that.
this out later and later because there's no way they can keep calling these people back because there was Xenoverse 2 stuff coming out when Broly and them were coming out, those movies. So you're telling me they were going between both places? Hell no.
Yeah, you might be right on that just because it'd be I feel like everybody's schedule would be so difficult if you just didn't have them all in one place at one time doing all this shit. But how long does it take for a voice actor to actually do their job, for example? Like
Ooh.
how long does it take? Like if Sean was in the office for an entire arc, like recording,
Hmm.
how long does it take for him to record all of his lines? Because it isn't like there's going to be script changes too much. Like
Well, my
they're just
thing,
translating it.
I brought this up with the Smith boys, Shadow Smith boys. They talked about some people may think they reused like some of, like you said, like from previous games and whatnot, which is fine. But I think when you're calling the 60 to 80 hours thing, I think it's stuff you said earlier. Those are like the new shit in the game. Like that's the what ifs. That's the new dialogue between characters and type stuff.
Hmm.
Because again, Super Saiyan 4 and Beerus ain't really communicating all that well in all these different games. So you have what ifs with that type of stuff. That's gonna be different because Super Saiyan
Yeah,
4's voice is different than regular Goku's voice.
that's true.
Or
Mm,
like, because this is gonna be the first time in a Budokai we're gonna have like the super story played out. Because I'm assuming they're gonna do. I don't know what they're doing in the story. Obviously, we have no idea. I'm just assuming,
yeah.
but I just think that's interesting too because I also hearken it to like MCU actors when they sign those big contracts. And it's like, hey, on this day, whatever other little projects you're doing, you got to either finish them or stop because you need to come in because
Yeah.
because most of these people, Sean, Chris, I mean, these are their biggest voices that they're known for, but they have a whole bunch of other stuff that they're doing too, like especially Savas, like with My Hero Academia being like biggest anime of the new generation. So he's doing all the stuff there. And anytime Mewtwo like no, that's Dan Green and Yu-Gi-Oh! But just for an example, like all this other stuff, like because it's like, hey, you need to come say some new lines for Sonic or One Piece. Oh, I can't. I gotta do Sparkling Zero voiceovers. I feel like they have to be in communication with each other, or that's their agent's job. I think that's the agent's job.
Yeah. Definitely the agent's job. I would agree with you there.
Like, because again, Dragon Ball is such a big thing, but all these people are all other shit. But like you said, that's a good question. Is it 60 hours of yelling, new content? But he said you're gonna love it. He said it on his stream this month, so we'll see. Mitch, no manga this month, second month in a row. Toyotaro did draw a new picture of Beast, Gohan, and that was my other cause. Maybe that's why the game's coming soon because since the Dragon Ball IP is putting out new, pretty good trailers every month, but obviously with Toriyama's death and all of that, but
Man,
we'll see when they come back. I honestly hope they don't announce like when they come back. I just hope they just drop a chapter and everyone's just shocked.
I'm actually trying to go to Shonen Jump and just see if it mentions anything. It doesn't appear so, but let's see. Yeah, I got nothing.
And that's fine. Well, it'll come back. I mean, it will come back eventually, and obviously we'll be here we'll be here for. But Mitch, I had some two real questions to ask you before we actually sign off. We saw this meme picture of Black Frieza showing up, and I know everyone likes Dragon Ball stuff seen the meme. Goku and Vegeta are knocked out, and then Tien pulls up, and he's
My
fighting.
man.
And that made me want to ask this question. Not even great. Can humans ever be decent again?
I don't understand why humans are not decent right now.
Mhm.
Because let's just make fun of Super a little bit here. If Krillin, if Krillin is competing with Super Saiyan Blue Goku
Mhm.
before the Tournament of Power, and Android 17, I know he has enhancements, and you know, since there has never been any reason for Krillin to be as great as what he is, or Tien, there stands no reason that humans cannot compete against the Saiyans if they're training. They're unless Tien is an alien, that the whole conspiracy that he's not human. Like people in people are saying that Krillin now could defeat Namek Frieza
Yep.
in any of his forms.
Hmm.
So if Krillin is able to do that logically, Krillin can destroy a planet.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Hmm.
And if Krillin can destroy a planet, I mean, why can't any human that has ever trained not got to that level yet?
Because I mean,
I mean, it's not like Krillin he hasn't done anything crazy. Nothing that Yamcha hasn't done before. And now Yamcha stopped and played baseball.
hmm,
And
it's just kind of cheating when you think about it.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know how you can implement humans to be as strong as them because of how the direction of the entire franchise has gone.
Hmm.
Uh, it's you would have to have something like along the lines of like Piccolo, you
Hmm.
know, and Piccolo basically had to cheat his way to get back up, caught by using a dragon. But there's a connection there with the dragon and it being a Namekian. I mean, the only way in which human like Tien could catch up is like time has to pause or it'd be like if something happened and they all got thrust into the future and then humans then evolved to the point where every human was as strong as Goku. And then humans take over that mantle of the strongest race over the Saiyans. Like you need everything to pause to catch the humans back up.
It's in Tien's the most interesting one because Tien, in a sense, is like the human version of Piccolo because Tien and Piccolo never stopped training. Like they always kept training, and obviously Piccolo just got his boost, but then Tien because he was part of the thing. But what about in the manga? Roshi had his own version of like Ultra Instinct. Is that something that could be taught? Like, could he teach like Tien that? So, I mean, Roshi was dodging punches from effing Jiren.
If Roshi could do it, why can't Tien's mentor, like, why
Oh,
couldn't
he
the
was a
crane
piece of
school
shit.
teach that kind of stuff? Like, if Tien's master was competing against Master Roshi back in the day,
Mhm.
I forget what his name is,
Crane?
just Crane. Is it just what it was, just Crane? I
Yeah,
remember it being the Crane school, but I couldn't remember if it was just because Master Roshi is the turtle hermit. Like,
yeah, because General Tao came from that damn place,
yeah.
and he was a hoe.
Oh, Super Ho. Super Ho. The goddamn missing hand trying to stab Tien. He could
That
do,
was something, man.
yeah.
Oh,
But
oh man. No, that makes sense. Like, why couldn't he do something like that? Because I'm thinking like the humans, like, I mean, Tien and them, they fought during the Moro invasion, which I liked because hey, an army's coming to Earth, defend it. But
no,
like, you have Tien, Krillin, Yamcha. I know Chaozu's really. I don't care. I'm gonna throw him in there. He hangs around Tien long enough. Then Roshi. I mean, and then you got, even though they're not fighting like that, you got Videl who teaches a martial arts class,
hmm
and then there's obviously Hercule, aka Mr. Satan, who obviously is nowhere near those people, but this is a guy who can pull multiple buses.
yep. Videl can fucking fly.
That, yeah, yes, yep.
If Videl can fly in high school, and like anybody can fly, like and that any human should be able to just blast off. There,
Yeah.
it's not,
Gohan taught her nice, and Gohan taught her and Goten at the same time, and she was able to get it.
you know,
So
we need humans to be good, man. Just add more character, like just broaden the landscape. But I mean, that would then take away from, the Saiyans and
I
but so
don't
that
know, man. They're never gonna be as strong as obviously like a Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Broly, all this stuff. But it's like if you have them fighting like those B, not B, I mean D tier people consistently, it gives them some shine in the manga. Like, hey, Tien's fighting. So just like Tien's fighting whatever new version of like the Ginyu Force or whatever. Because let's just think about this, which is kind of crazy. If you really want to think about this, and this I know you hate, and I know you hate power scaling, but just think about this from the Namek saga. Vegeta was getting his ass handed to him by the Ginyu Force
hmm
until Goku came 100 times gravity. We know one of the best scenes all in Dragon Ball. Ginyu Force dies, same power levels that they were stomping Vegeta, Krillin, and Gohan. They go to King Kai's planet
hmm
and they're getting their asses rocked by Tien and
Yep.
Yamcha and Chaozu. So I'm like, so you're telling me the training they did on King Kai's right there, where they couldn't even put a dent in Nappa, who's significantly weaker than Vegeta, and Vegeta, where Zenkai boosts were still a thing. Those people were stronger than Saiyan Saga Vegeta.
Yep.
Like when you think it like that, you're just like, and then you would still never be like, oh no, I couldn't pick them to beat them. But then when you do like the logic like that, which is from the show's canon, you're like, oh shit, yeah, that's true. Why don't they go back to King Kai? Like I don't understand why Goku doesn't take them to King Kai and train. If King Kai was able to make them get that many leaps and bounds, Goku could just instant transmission, drop them off, train,
Yeah.
pick them up,
Yep. You know,
and that
I'm
puts
just
King
like,
Kai back in the story because he was the OG, always helping when shit was needed the most before
mm,
the new gods came.
yep. And that'd be nice to actually bring him back because he was a fan favorite. Like
Yes.
like all the way up, even through Super, like that first arc with Beerus. Once Beerus and Whis came, then it was just the Whis show, and it's like,
Yep, it is the Wii show. Shoot, you want to go old school? Have the I don't doubt it, but have the humans go train with like Grand Kai for a year. Let's see what
mm,
that training's really about.
or Elder Kai,
Or Elder Kai.
yep.
I mean, they come to Earth. The Supreme Kai and them come to Earth. So let's see what they can do there, man. Because they gotta be. We don't know where this new arc's going, but I think there's gonna be another invasion if it's Frieza pulling up with the army. So at least give them some shine. Because like you said at the beginning, Krillin's Kamehameha. I don't care about key control. Krillin's Kamehameha was clashing with a literally a demigod Saiyan's Kamehameha.
Yeah. I just think it'd be sweet just to see a panel, sort of just like how it was back in the day, with like Tien, like them showing off like Tien's like abilities or whatnot, and then like
Mhm.
let's say Goku and Vegeta, they had to leave, for example, to get some training or something like
Hmm.
that. And it's, Tien versus the bad guy. And like Tien's holding his own because Tien is just as strong as everyone at that point.
Hmm.
I don't know, they just let Tien have some dialogue with the bad guy and, just let that story kind of unfold on that one. It'd be enjoyable. It'd be a different pace. And I'd be rooting for him a lot more because it's like I don't want to see you fail, TN, because I don't see you succeed. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like just like I don't get this often. Let me see what you can do here. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. Last thing, which wasn't on here, just a little funny thing because this month was obviously the month we're recording is May, so it was Mother's Day. So, Mitch, with all the Dragon Ball moms in the show, who do you think is actually the best mom?
who's the best mother?
Hmm.
Hmm, best mother. I'm trying to think like obviously I would want Bulma to be my mother.
Yeah, because you want to be living, you don't have to work again in your life.
Well, that's the thing is that is like, like if family's rich, never have to worry about it. Granted, therefore, then Vegeta's my father, and I don't know if I want him to be my father.
And you know when Bulma dies, you inherit everything.
Yep. Um, just like Bulma just seems like a typical mom to her kids, whereas like, Chi-Chi, she is instilling like, education into Gohan, like drilling it into like Bulma with her scientific like knowledge and her family origins. You would think that she would be drilling in the schooling into her kids so
Hmm.
then they knew how to make capsules.
Yeah.
Like, but Chi-Chi is the one with the insane temper who lives out in the middle of isolation and no friends near you. And it's either studying or you're fishing for dinner and then you're going to bed. It's like in a way,
Oh.
like like Gohan and Goten, especially Gohan, they should be like socially awkward. Like no interaction with people. Because like what the, Gohan was all homeschooled and finally went to high school. Like he should have no social skills at all. Like and he swooped up Videl.
The other blonde, other yeah, because she was intrigued because he thought, well, it didn't help. He thought it was Buddy was a great Saiyan from the jump, and then he was there jumping in midair, throwing a baseball, like you said, like their social skills, like it's crazy. But no, I mean, Bulma is the most secure life, like, and like she does seem like a normal, just normal mom. I thought, but I think Vidal's a good choice.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Vidal's probably the most down to earth one of them all. You know, normal ass job. Seems very nice. Seems caring and loving. Uh,
That's
I'm trying to
crazy how
think.
the daughter of the most famous person in the world, normal ass job.
I would rather be the child to 18 over Chi-Chi.
Oh, well, 18. I don't see like she loves her like family. Like she's very, it's weird to think that that girl was the way she was in the future because like you see her now and like she loves Marin and like Krillin, calling Krillin cool and like Krillin being cool. It's like, okay. And like she's always thinking about money. So she's almost like a normal
I want to know which android killed which person in the
in the
future.
future.
Yeah, because did 18 give the killing blow against Krillin? Because that would be some crazy ass shit. But
Like
we'll
that
never
is a
know that
good.
one.
I wonder if they have like a chart, like they had the tournament of power chart on the wiki, like who eliminated who at one time. I wonder if they had the chart of who killed who in the future. But no, I
I
thought 18 too, because then too, if you get in a fight and someone's mom talks crazy to you, you know your mom is 99.99% stronger would beat their and beat the other mom's ass.
Yeah.
So, but and she seems laid back and chill. But again, Marin's not older, so I don't know what she's gonna be like when when she's like an adult. I know in GT she was like growing up and all, and they were just hanging out. And obviously 18 was super pissed at when Krillin died, so she wanted revenge for that. So she's loving and all that. But no, those are I'm trying to think what other mom. I mean,
You know,
some
I
people
was,
say Goku's mom was like, you can't even pick Goku's mom. You saw her for 13 minutes.
I was actually trying to think outside the box for 2 seconds, but I was mistaken because I was going to say Master Roshi's mom. I was trying to think. I was like, haven't we seen her before? No, fortune teller Baba is Master Roshi's sister.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, you could say Bulma's mom.
Oh, the MILF.
Yeah, well, you're still not working.
Oh, that's funny.
She's there making their, she's there making the cookies, and it's so funny seeing her and then like Dr. Briefs together, and you're just like, what in the
It is the
hell?
most stereotypical,
Yes.
like, like the the dumb blonde, like who just married because of the money and
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Briefs, married
Mm-hmm.
for the intimacy, probably doesn't even really like her. Just
And then they got Bulma, and then they got the other girl who they randomly just brought during Super. Didn't know she existed for all my life until Super. Like, oh yeah, Bulma has a sister. Tights. Like, what? I
Nope.
think Bulma, Videl, I couldn't do Chi Chi, like, because it's just like, yeah, I'm waiting. But it was always great. There was a scene in the hospital where Gohan told his mom, "Shut up, I'm going. Those people died for me. I'm going to Namek." I was like,
Yep.
"Oh shit!"
Yep. Good old Gohan. Finally grown a pair.
In that one time. So, but no, I think that was interesting. And then obviously the month of June is Father's Day, and we can talk about who's the best dad. But I was even gonna think like Bulma. Would you want present Bulma or would you want the future Bulma who got smoked by Goku Black?
Hmm. Both are pretty both are pretty solid, to be honest with you. I don't think I'd um
Trying to think. Now I'm trying to think outside though. Obviously, Vegeta's mom we never saw. I wouldn't want her anyway.
the
Mother's
Megan don't
interest.
have well, they don't appear to have mothers, only because they're, you know, like
Oh, here's one. You could pick Toa.
no. No. Can't even believe you made me think of that. That's hilarious.
Like
Mm. And I'm trying to think all the way back into Dragon Ball. Um,
Android 17, which is weird. He's married, but we will probably never see his wife. But
um, I think I think that's it, man. I don't think
yeah,
there's too many mothers.
I agree. I don't think there's any.
There's probably this big glaring like one in which we're just missing, and it's
We
gonna
said
be
Android 18, Bulma, Chi-Chi, Videl, Gina. I mean, technically, if you do the GT storyline, Pan had to be a mom at some point because she had a grandkid.
um. Yep, I can't think of any because like now I'm running through Super in my mind. And I'm like, can't
Yeah,
think
there's no.
because I was thinking of because then fathers come into my mind because like I don't remember his name, but what was that one universe? Go
Universe 10s, dude.
yeah, he had
Gohan
the ball
blasted
cap.
off.
Yeah, Well, he had to lock it, you know, his
Mm-hmm.
family, and then Gohan just blasts them to fucking Kingdom Come. Just
Like that's interesting. Well, no, that's an interesting one to end on. But thank you everyone for listening to the Dragon Ball L7C podcast. We'll see what happens at Game Jump, whatever, the Game Fest thing in June. We'll see if Dragon Ball decides to just randomly show up, trend number one on Twitter, and leave like they do when they have big news. And we'll go from there. But Mitch, anything else you wanted to add?
nope, that's it for me tonight.
All right, man. With that being said, L7C Podcast signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C Podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.